I present to you the ultimate slap bass rhythm toolkit. So what I've done is I've compiled 4 rhythms, 4, count them, 4 rhythms that I think are absolutely crucial if you want to really start to get a grasp on the foundation of slap bass. Can't build a house without a good foundation. In this case, you can't build a slap and a pop without a good slapidation. Each of the 4 tools in this kit I chose for not just their rhythmic usefulness, but also because they each require a certain level of finesse and skill when it comes to technique. So if you can work on these rhythms, not only are you adding rhythms to your toolkit, but you're working on your technique. So these rhythms are going to get from easier to harder. If you feel like at any point you just need to skip ahead, I'll make sure I have the little chapter markers so you can find where the next section is. Number 1, eighth notes. Just plain up eighth notes. Now, if you don't know what eighth notes are what we call when there's 2 notes per beat. So if our beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth notes would be like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there's our quarter note is what we call that. That's our steady beat, our pulse, eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, the reason I chose eighth notes, because they're so important, is because you can use eighth notes to really lay down the foundation of your technique. So we'll start with G here. 3rd fret, E string. We're going to practice slapping. So remember, when we slap, thumbs up, rotate, and you want that thumb to go through the string. I'm plucking the E string with my thumb, following through, and landing on that A string. You can kind of play around where it's most comfortable for you, what spot what sounds the best. I tend to hang around right around here, right at the end of the fretboard. We're gonna do G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the next step, we're gonna make them short. So what I'm gonna do is, you wanna let go with this finger just enough so that the note stops ringing, but not enough that the string keeps vibrating. Slap, mute.
Slap, mute.
Now we're gonna try this. We're gonna try short, long, short, long, short, long. Still just all on this G. Practice doing it with different fingers in the left hand. There's 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, gonna add some more notes in. G, 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 E, F, F sharp. And it's gonna take some work, but to really get that groove going. Short, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So my right hand is just doing a constant, the groove is all on the left. I'm doing a little bit of an accent with the right hand, not much. The next step, the reason eighth notes are so important, is because we can start to do a slap pop. Now, if you've watched any of my shorts, you know I'm big on this rotate. And what I mean by that is, see how I'm rotating my wrist. Still just doing eighth notes, by the way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So basically, if you think about this, when you're just doing the thumb, you have to rotate back out to slap. So you want to make sure that your pop is on that rotate back out. It's almost like a twofer. 2 sounds for the price of 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I'm doing with my left hand, first finger on this G, 3rd fret, pinky on G, 5th fret of the D string. And again, I'm making them kind of short. I'm not just holding them out, right? You can do that to practice your right hand. Then make them short. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna combine the octaves, slap pop. do it a little bit faster with this drum beat. Here come the octaves. Next, the combination. One and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and one. So there's our tool number 1, eighth notes. Number 2, 1/8 and 2/16. So 16th notes, there's 4 in a measure, and if we had a measure of all 16ths, we would count it as 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So when we have a beat that has an 8th and a 16th, 1 and a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a. That was just the open E string. You can see that muting with my left hand between some of the hits. 1 and a slap, mute, slap, slap, mute, slap, slap, mute, slap, slap, mute. Now we're gonna do G. 1 and a 3 and a slap, slap, slap. This rhythm is great to build up those fast doubles with your thumb. All about that slap, but you still want to rotate. The next step, we're gonna do slap, slap, pop. One and a 2, 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Do it with the drum beat. We're gonna start with just the slaps, and then we're gonna move to the octave slap pops. Here we go. 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a octaves. 1 and a 3 and a 1 and a 3 and a and 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2. It's crucial that as you're practicing these, as you're working on them, you're focusing on that right hand technique. Getting a nice rotate. You're getting a good, clear sound that you want. It's a lot to think about at first. And take your time, do it nice and slow. I know I got this metronome is cooking. But if you can't do it at that tempo just yet, take your time. Slow it down. Work on it on your own for a bit, and then try it with that beat. Play along with me. Tool number 3, 1 and a E and. Let's just practice it all with the slaps first. On our trusty G, 3rd fret, E string. 1 and a E and. 4 and a pop, ba da da da. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a E and 3 and a 4 and a. So the reason I'm saying 3 and a 4 and a is to help me keep that pulse going. Ordinarily, if I was playing like with a band or something, I wouldn't say it out loud. I'd be all in my head. So what you really want to do for this to make it stand out, you want to make sure you're muting that 16th rest. You could do it like this too sometimes. What's really important is to really just have ultimate control over the start and precise end of every note you play. Being hyper aware of those little intricacies in your counting and your rhythm, it can make the difference between a song really grooving and just sounding kind of like for instance, it's the difference of this. And if I played that all just feel how much different that feels just by ignoring the exact placement and ending of all the notes. It's crucial. One more time. 1 and E and 1 and E and. So now let's add the octave in. Slap, slap, pop, pop, slap. Let's go ahead and combine it with some eighth notes. So we got 1 and E and 3 and 4 and. Now, just for kicks, let's move it up a string. So we move this up a fourth from G to C. Same thing, just different strings. Now back. So if you are a beginner and you're watching this video, I would recommend take all the slaps only versions of all of these tools and practice them on all the strings, because you'll find that get a good clean slap sound on the D string. It takes a lot more accuracy than it does to get that same kind of sound on the E string, because you got all this room above. But when you're trying to aim for one of the other strings, it takes a lot more accuracy. So here's that combination groove with the drum beat. 1 and E and 3 and 4 and. Number 4, our final one, straight up 16th notes, but with a little bit of a twist. We're gonna do what's called a hammer-on. If you slap your eighth notes, your right hand's just doing eighth notes. We're gonna do open string, hammer-on. And now, if you're a true beginner, hammer-ons are actually kind of hard. If you've been playing for a while, it's something I promise you take for granted. Because for a beginner, getting the hang of really getting that note to come out, for some people it can be a tough skill. What our right hand is doing, if we just mute the left, on the A string now we're slapping. 1 and slap, slap, slap. 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and After that first slap, hammer on, slap, hammer on, slap, slap. So again, that's slap, hammer on, slap, slap. 1 E and So for this one, the only note that I'm making really short is that very last one. So the last step is on the Instead of that last short slap, we will do a short pop. So it'll be like this on the 1 E and Now we're gonna combine it with our last rhythm. We're gonna do a 1 E and E and. One thing to note, this pattern here is the same with the right hand as when you do. Just we're putting a hammer on in the middle. Still slap, slap, pop, but it's slap, hammer on, slap, pop. So your right hand's doing the same thing. So if you really get that, if you can do that really well, it becomes a lot easier to add that hammer on in and get that cool bop. Now I've got this little riff, if you will, 2-bar riff that combines everything we've done so far. There is one new skill here. We got some dead notes, so we're gonna do 1 E and a muted pop slap, pop slap. But it's the same rhythm that we worked on before. You just do it playing it muted now. To get a good muted slap pop sound, you really want to practice spreading those fingers out a little bit. If you just do one spot, you tend to get harmonics. If you spread them out, basically the more fingers you can use for a muted note, the deader of a sound you'll get and the less harmonics will ring through. So when I do this, I have all 4 fingers. All 4 of my fingers are touching the G string for the muted pop, and then these 3 are also on the A string. It's just good anyway to be in the habit of keeping those fingers stretched out. A lot of people, when they first start playing, they'll tend to do like this kind of thing where their fingers want to stay nice and tight. It's just an unnatural stretch until you've been playing for a while. The other new thing, we're popping the open G string to a slap on the 3rd fret E. And then our 8th notes come in. Now, if you've put the time in on the rest of these exercises in this toolbox, then this last thing here should be starting to come together for you. One more time. Slap, hammer on, slap, pop, muted slap. Pop, pop, slap. Alright, so that is it for this video on the slap bass rhythmic foundation toolbox. If you found any information in this helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I have tons of YouTube shorts on playing slap bass, and hopefully some more videos to come in the future. And occasionally live streams. I like to get on sometimes at night and come up with ideas and record them and live stream the process. Alright, for now, see you next time.